Hello and welcome back to naturalnews.tv.
Ah, natural news. Now there's a presence I haven't felt in, like 5-10 minutes. That's the problem when you're immersed in the land of wolves. There's just some things that you see all the time. But the thing that amazes me is I've never covered them. That changes today.
My name is Magnus Mulliner and welcome to Broome Castle.
Magnus Mulliner. That is quite the name. Really sounds like a supervillain, which honestly fits the theme. Because if I were a supervillain, I would definitely get people to do all sorts of wacky crap that could hurt them / convince them to stop doing things that help. The kind of things that places like Natural News tend to do all the goddamn time. And I would definitely spend a bunch of time in a castle. What? No, I'm not in a castle. I'm clearly outside. Can't you see I'm sieging here?
And it is now being restored. We've got a cafe down here called a Fusion Cafe.
Ah yes, of course. Restored to all its former glory. Kings of old would often build coffee shops within their walls to keep their soldiers alert with iced frappe mochaccino lattes with sprinkles on top. Ah, a time when men were men. Now all they drink is borax smoothies with bleach chasers. Pansies.
And some work that I do is in the Holistic Centre.
Well, of course you do. Also, work.
And I've got these really steep steps. God, just imagine going there.
Jumping down those stairs. Ah, sweet tumbly oblivion awaits me. Don't tempt me, man. I've been known to chuck myself down flights of stairs at the drop of a hat. No, literally, for some reason, if someone drops a hat near me, I reflexively throw myself down the nearest incline. It's like super weird.
To have a look around this great castle.
I know, we should get to the meat of the video, but I honestly found everything in this intro to be really funny. I mean, look at that. He's talking about the great grand castle over footage of some standard English road. The irony is just delicious. Anyway, we're there now, so quit your complaining.
And another invite. And what I'm going to do is talk about the sun and sungazing.
Yes, that's right, folks. Natural News promotes that you do that thing that you were told never to do as a child because it'll make you go blind. No, not that thing. The other one. Staring at the sun. I told you he was a supervillain.
Now, all these again are just my opinions.
If I could have one wish granted, it would be that woo peddlers would just stop doing that. This is just my opinion. This is not medical advice. But you should totally do it, and it's totally a real thing that is not the dumb. Just be honest, for Christ's sake. I mean, here's a way you could do it that would satisfy your need to cover your asses and please me, as all humans should strive to do all the time. Instead of saying, this isn't medical advice, instead say, I have no goddamn idea what I'm talking about, but it's subtle, but it really relays the true meaning of your words.
And like I said, a lot of my recordings, I don't want anyone to buy into any of my BS. That means my belief systems. I want them to find out if there's some truth in it for themselves.
I genuinely can't tell if you're trying to be ironic / cute with that, or that you don't know what that means. But I am more than happy to call all of your belief systems BS, although doing silly things isn't really a belief system in so much as a brain sludge. But hey, at least it's still BS.
And what I found is that the sun has never been our enemy.
Well, look, we can figure that out right now. Let's just go ask him. Son, what are you doing? Nothing. Son, you're not trying to set the humans on fire again, are you? Yes. Oh, son, you little rascal. All right, just a couple of them, since you have grown all that food for them. The sun, he kills you and he feeds you.
It's not the sun that gives you cancer as well.
I think basically like all of medical science would like to have just a couple of words with you about that. Seeing as the sun literally destroys parts of your skin's makeup, and that tends to give you skin cancer. I knew natural news was pseudoscience, but I didn't realise it was just plain anti-science. Although, is there a difference really?
Obviously, if you go and burn yourself, then yes, you may make yourself more susceptible to perhaps skin cancer.
What? No, sunburn is not in any way, shape or form a requirement to getting skin cancer from overexposure to the sun, although it does help. And B, going with your moon logic, what, pray tell, gave you that burn again? Oh, that's right, the sun. The burn that made you more susceptible to skin cancer was from the sun.
So I certainly cover up. But the sun,
Damn you, son!
has always been our friend.
Your sun, your friend, and that is not the enemy of the humans, but can and will burn the ever-loving shit out of you given half the chance. I'll tell you what I don't do to people who are my friends and not my enemies. Exactly that! I do, however, actually do that to my actual enemies. Like, quite a lot. I would stop, but I really like the smell.
And if you notice, even though the sun, it's around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can almost stare at it without wincing.
Ugh, it's almost like your body's trying to tell you something there, mate. Almost like it knows that staring at extremely bright light sources is really, really bad for your eyes. But that can't be. It must be that you secretly really, really don't want the Healy rays of infrared and ultraviolet light to smash you in the back of the eyes and give you that powerful night vision. As in vision that appears to be constant night. It's gonna blind you, bro. Maybe don't do that. I think Eyelid San is looking out for you, mate.
And the reason I can do that is because my adrenal glands aren't fatigued.
Oh yeah, I always find that I can put my hand into a spinning blender whenever my thyroid hasn't overslept. That's what you sound like, you ridiculous horse coffin. Haven't used that one in a while.
Now, one of the clear signs that I find with my clients, if they can't look at the sun, especially when it's first rising in the morning or going down, setting in an evening,
is that they are normal people who don't want to be blind. The bastards. So you just beat them around the head and neck until they become a little bit more cooperative. Oh wait, no, that's my clients. Those uncooperative mother flippers. Look, if you're coming to Sir Sick for help, expect, not help. I am a piece of what they call chit.
And that's because their adrenals are fatigued. And if their adrenals are fatigued, the chances are their thyroid is too. And I always want to know the etiology or root cause of that.
Every time Sir Sick makes a reference as a joke, and every time subject then makes that joke a reality. Seriously, the number of times I have what one might call psychic powers is kind of impressive. Luckily, I know it's not actually from being psychic, but the basic pattern recognition ability of pretty much any complex life form.
However, my invite for you is to do this thing that I call sungazing. What I mean by that is in the first hour or the last hour when the sun is setting, you can quite clearly look at the sun and not damage your eyes.
That is actually not true. In fact, when you look at the sun during a sunset, most of the light that gets through is infrared light because of the angles and such. Now, some would argue that the sunrise-sunset light is less harmful. But A, it's definitely still harmful, certainly unnecessarily so. And B, can you guess what infrared light does to your eyes? Pro tip, nothing good. Basically, it can give you cataracts. And cataracts are bad. Although they can reduce the amount of harmful light, or any light, but harmful light that reaches your eyes. So maybe cataracts are good. If you are like a person into very poor ideas for protection from sunlight.
Now, my invite is, if you're going to do this, if you've never stared at the sun before without your sunglasses,
please say don't. It's a terrible idea and no one should listen to me ever. It's not going to be that. I just have a very wishful thinking kind of mind. Also, I really, really, really hate the invite way you couch this. I mean, I could invite people to play Russian roulette. That wouldn't make anyone who died from it after accepting my invite any less my fault. just because it was an invite and hilarious.
Then only do it for 10 seconds. And then if you can do it the next day, it would be 20 seconds, and then the next day 30 seconds, and so on. So the last hour...
Hey, just poke yourself in the eye with a fork for 10 seconds today and 20 seconds tomorrow. Eventually, you'll be able to take a whole cutlery drawer to the eyeball without falling down in agony. Doesn't actually mean any of that was a good idea. I mean, tell me a situation where having 4 knives, 4 forks, 4 spoons, and 4 of those tiny little small spoon boys to the eyeball without flinching, how would that be useful on a regular basis? Enough to justify the catastrophic damage to your retinas anyway. I can't think of a lot.
Of the sun going down or setting, or the first hour in the sun rising, those are the 2 times that you could stare at the sun and it won't do your eyes any harm whatsoever.
Lies. Well, to be absolutely fair, it's probably not lies, but then again, someone calls this just his opinion instead of things he believes without having done a lick of research on it, and certainly an opinion without any kind of medical or scientific backing. Like I said, there's a reason I really don't like the "this is not a medical opinion, lol" parts of the woo screed, because you always go on to confidently proclaim things that just aren't flipping true.
In fact, since I've been doing sun gazing since 2005, I could probably stare at the sun now for about half an hour. Now, it's a bit too high at the moment.
You're a bit high at the moment? Maybe inject a little less of the pot, as my father always used to say before he had the overdose on Skittles. That man did love sweeties, and crashed up bowling pins. He was a strange man. Although he is alive, you just don't tend to die from sticking 10 kilos of sawdust up your nose. It mostly really hurts. Apparently. Not that I've ever done that.
But certainly if the clouds disappear, then that's what I'll be doing.
I'm sure you will. They don't call you Magnus Hold My Beer Mulliner for nothing.
The other thing to be aware of is that wearing sunglasses
make you look really cool, and there's no other reason to wear them, because eye safety is just for big lamos who don't have time to wear sunglasses.
I think it was around about the 1960s when people started looking cool.
Oh my god, that's actually your argument. Give me a minute, I need time to process. Multiple joke predictions coming true is always so hard to deal with. One of these days I'm going to start thinking that I'm actually the smart. No, that's the joke prediction that will never happen. Me am always the stupid.
Wearing sunglasses, it's not cool. It actually damages your body. It actually certainly will damage your eyes. And the reason for that is because the full spectrum of light that is allowed to go through your iris or through into your retina is being stopped by 60% plus because you're wearing some cool sunglasses.
I just kind of want to meme at you like this.
No.
But it's so much more than that. That 60% of the light it's blocking out, it's the goddamn light that your eyes are going to be damaged by. It's literally the point of sunglasses. I mean, hell, I hate to make an argument from personal experience, but I have astigmatism, right? And basically cannot see on bright days without sunglasses. And I live in England. Imagine many of our American brethren in real countries with actual sunlight. I certainly wouldn't want to suffer through that place without protection of any kind.
Well, Paleolithic man, for however many millions of years we've been on this planet, has not been wearing sunglasses.
Okay, wow, you've got me there. Ancient people who didn't have access to the things we have now, well, they just knew better than us, were smarter, faster, stronger, and big donger than us. Ignore the fact that they threw stones at their own shadows and died of old age and fear at 24. Yes, I know that's not strictly true. I'm referencing Laszlo, you cultural vacuum.
And it really is not beneficial for our eyes. And I don't want to say what it'll lead to.
Jesus Christ, dude, could you be more transparent? I'm not going to say what this will lead to. That translates as, there's absolutely no hard proof of anything that it will do. And I still have no flipping idea what the hell I'm talking about. That's just amazing. I love it. And hate it. I'm very conflicted.
But what I will say is that if you stop your eyes from allowing the full spectrum of light to go through, you are likely to have some challenges later on in your life with your eyes and maybe other parts of your body as well.
But I will say, if you constantly let all the spectrums of light into your eyes on a regular basis, especially during the day as you are alluding to, you will have an extremely high probability of having issues such as keratitis, which is basically eye sunburn. Let me just oof and F in the chat for anyone with that. Oh my god. Retinopathy, when UV light burns a hole in your retina, and many others that I really don't want to go into because I'm actually bloody squeamish about eye damage, and that crap makes me shudder till my spine jumps out of my body, runs away to join the bloody circus, and then does, spine stuff. Also, with those conditions, you will likely have a higher probability of damaging other parts of your body from all the walking into things.
So please be open to that the sun has never caused us any harm as such, and has always been our friend, and that basically you are the world's biggest idiot. Will do. I'll keep that in mind and remind myself on a regular basis exactly why I don't actually look at natural news content normally. I just don't have the brain cells as it is to waste on you guys. Christ. Guys, don't forget to panic buy Sick Brand merch. What if you need to let people know that you are handsome, famous and good at the sex in a variety of tasteful colours? Buy as many as you can afford now before this thing that's printed to order runs out. Also, you can use it as toilet paper if needs be. You never know when you're going to need to wipe your arse.